Hit it, Phil.
Can it be the breeze that fills the trees with rare and magic perfume? Oh, no, it isn't the breeze. It's Jackson time. La, da, da, da.
Stay tuned.
Right after this episode.
For our discussion.
With Jack's guests, Barbara Stanwyck and Bob Crosby. Brought to you by Lucky Strike. Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The place, engine room. The cigarette, Lucky Strike. This man's brand because he wants the honest taste of fine tobacco. In Lucky's, he gets it. Sometimes a cigarette is your only companion. In that case, try Lucky Strike. It's mild, but not too mild, with a taste that's fresh, smooth, and unforgettable.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
I'm terribly sorry. My watch must have been slow. So embarrassing. Put on the curtain, please. You know, the reason, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, but the reason that I was, oh, this is awful. The reason I was backstage sweeping the stage, you see, I have what is known in show business as a package deal. By that I mean that my sponsor, you see, pays me a certain amount of money for each show, and anything that I save, I can keep. And you'd be amazed how much stagehands get. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, my, look, the spotlight is supposed to follow me wherever I go. No, right here. Here I am. That's it, thank you. That's it. Watch it, Mary. Whatever I save, I can keep, you see. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight my guest star is Miss Barbara Stanwyck. Now, thank you. She'll be glad to hear about that. But, you see, Miss Stanwyck, you all know, you're all familiar with Miss Stanwyck's work in the movies. I mean, she's been in so many of them. As a matter of fact, Miss Stanwyck has been in pictures almost as long as I've been out of them. See, I haven't made a picture since the, I'll never forget the Horn Blows at Midnight. Unfortunately, that picture, The Horn Blows at Midnight, wasn't made in 3 dimensions. It was just 1 dimension. Lousy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a play. Hold all that noise back there. Yeah, listen, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going... Anything I save, I can keep, you know. What'd you say, Bob?
May I have a word with you?
Yeah, look at Bob. You know, we're going to do our play pretty soon. Have you got the scenery built yet?
That's what I want to speak to you about. You got a lot of nerve making me stay backstage building sets.
Well, this is a fine time to complain. I mean, you volunteered to do it.
I volunteered. You tricked me.
What do you mean I tricked you?
Well, when you needed a carpenter, you came over to me and you said, Bob, in what state is Little Rock? And when I said Arkansas, you handed me this and said, go to work.
I thought it was clever. Well, you know how to use it, don't you?
If I did, I'd have sawed that joke right out of the script.
It's mine, huh? I see. Well, look at Bob. now look, before we go into our play, you have to do your song, you see. So go back to your dressing room and take off those overalls.
But I haven't got a dressing room.
Well, build yourself one. I gave him a saw. Ladies and gentlemen, our play tonight, the one that Barbara Stanwyck and I are going to do, we did about 2 years ago. It's a satire on Metro-Goldwyn's-Mayer famous classic, Gaslight, which we call Autolite, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. And I knew I had one other thing to tell you. This has nothing to do with the play. But yesterday, I ran into a friend of mine from my hometown, from Waukegan, Illinois, see? An old buddy of mine from Waukegan. We used to go to school together. And he told me that he had a daughter who was an acrobatic dancer. And he wanted to know if I could give her an opportunity on my show. He said if she just had one television show, she could really go places. You see, and naturally, I couldn't turn him down because, you know, we were buddies in Waukegan. So I'd like to have you meet his daughter, Miss Mildred Thompson. Go ahead, Mildred. Go ahead. You see, it didn't take long. And at least it makes her father happy. Where she's going with that act, I don't know. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Crosby will sing I Don't Care If the Sun Don't Shine.
I don't care if the sun don't shine. I get my lovin' in the evening time when I'm with my baby. It's no fun with the sun around, but I get going when the sun goes down and I'm my baby. That's when we kiss, and then we kiss, and then we kiss some more. Don't ask how many times we kiss at a time like this. Who keeps score? I don't care if the sun don't shine. I get my lovin' in the evening time when I'm with my baby. Sun contains a ray they label vitamin D. If you like vitamin D, it's quite all right with me. But I am here to say that I like vitamin love, but I can't get vitamin love with that doggone sun above. Oh, I don't care if the sun don't shine. I get my lovin' in the evening time when I'm with my baby. It's no fun with the sun around, but I get going when the sun goes down and I meet my baby. That's when we kiss, and then we kiss, kiss and kiss some more. Don't ask how many times we kiss at a time like this. Who keeps score? So I don't care if the sun don't shine. I get my lovin' in the evening time when I'm with my baby. Ladies and gentlemen, and now I know that you're all anxious to see Mr. Jack Benny and his very delightful guest, Miss Barbara Stanwyck. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to Don Wilson, who will set the scene for the sketch. Don?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jack Benny Lucky Strike Players, starring Barbara Stanwyck, bring you their version of one of the greatest, yes, there's no doubt about it. A Lucky Strike is the greatest. Nothing here but the honest taste of fine tobacco, fresh and unforgettable. It's mild, but not too mild. Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Jack Benny Players, starring Barbara Stanwyck, bring you that great psychological drama, Autolite. The scene is the living room on the first floor of a 4-story house in a gloomy and unfashionable quarter of London in the year 1871. Outwardly, the atmosphere is one of peace, for even the servants are unaware that for the past weeks, the master of the house has been systematically pursuing a sinister, diabolical scheme to drive his wife insane.
I thought the master wanted Mrs. Manningham to have supper in her room.
He did, but she insisted on eating in here. And if you ask me, I think she's off her trolley. The master said she ordered this for her dinner.
What is it?
Marinated salami.
She's an odd one, all right.
The master says if she doesn't get any better, he's going to send her away to...
Here she comes now. If you need me, I'll be in the pantry.
Righto.
Elizabeth, I've changed my mind. I don't think I'll eat anything.
Oh, but why, madam? Don't you feel well?
These headaches, these awful, frightful headaches pounding day in and day out. My husband tells me I keep doing things I don't even remember. I can't sleep at night. I keep tossing and turning and wondering what's going to become of me. Oh, why? Why do I get these awful headaches?
Madam, perhaps if you ate something, you would feel better.
Yes, maybe you're right.
I know you're going to enjoy your supper. It's exactly what your husband said you ordered.
What's that?
Marinated salami.
Marinated salami?
Yes. Shall I pour the sour cream?
No, don't pour anything. I'm going mad, I tell you. I don't even remember ordering anything like that. Oh, these headaches, these awful headaches. Where is my husband? Why isn't he here when I need him?
Madam, I think the master just came in.
Oh, good. Good. You may go, Elizabeth. Oh. Charles, I'm so glad you're home. The hours that you're away drag on and on. I can't live without you by my side. I need your sympathy, your help, your tender understanding. Oh, my beloved, my darling. Only you can guide me through the darkness of my confusion. Only you can make me smile again, laugh again, live again. Oh, Charles, speak to me, speak to me.
What are you doing out of your room? Answer me, Bella. What are you doing out of your room?
Oh, I had to come out. It's these headaches, these awful headaches. I've been confined to my room all day, and it was driving me mad. Breakfast in bed, lunch in bed. I couldn't have dinner in bed. It was full of dirty dishes.
Ah, my poor Bella. Control yourself. You're getting hysterical. What you need is a sedative. I'll ring for the maid. Bella, while you're waiting for the sedative, why don't you just sit here and relax?
Yes, Charles.
Just close your eyes. Close your eyes, Bella, and forget everything.
Yes, Charles.
You feel better now, Bella?
Oh, yes, Charles, yes.
I knew if you just sat here and relaxed, you'd feel so much...
Charles, what are you staring at?
That picture on the wall. Why did you turn it upside down?
Picture upside down? But I didn't turn the picture upside down. It must have been someone else. Oh, Charles, what's happening to me? What's happening to me?
pictures upside down, too. Look.
No, no.
Why do you keep doing these things?
But I didn't.
Oh, Bella. Bella, your mind is failing you. Why don't you keep turning pictures upside down, and you don't even remember?
But I didn't turn it upside down. It must have been someone else.
Someone else. Always someone else. Are you suggesting that one of the maids or the butler did it?
Yes. Yes, that's it. The butler. The butler, he must have done it.
Very well. I'll find out.
Oh, Charles, don't humiliate me in front of the servants, please.
It's the only way, Bella. I'll ring for the butler.
Pictures upside down, then perhaps I did do it. But I don't remember.
Don't remember. Where is that butler? Where is he? Jeeves! Jeeves!
Cheerio, hold your rings up.
Jeeves, those pictures are upside down. Did you notice them?
Well, by Jove, if they ain't.
Did you do it?
Oh, me?
Maybe you did it when you were dusting.
Yes. Yes, Jeeves. Maybe you did it while you were working.
Me working? Oh, your lordship, come now.
Then I assume that you did not turn those pictures upside down.
Pip-pip.
There you are, Bella. Then you're the one who did it.
But I don't remember.
Don't remember. Lately, you've been doing everything backwards. Yesterday, when we came back from the fox hunt, you hung your riding habit in the stable and put the horse in that closet. Bella, you must admit, there's something wrong with you. Bella, you must let me take you away. Jeeves, you may go.
Thank you, sir. Me have tomorrow.
Tomorrow off? Why?
The cricket matches, you know. Thank you, boss.
What?
Righto, governor.
I hope now, Bella, that you realize that you are mentally ill.
Oh, Charles, where are you going?
I have an appointment.
Oh, every night you leave me alone. Tell me, is it another woman?
I hate to admit it, but the answer is no. Goodbye, Bella.
Wait, before you go, kiss me.
Very well, Bella. How was that, Bella?
One dimension. Every night he leaves me alone. I can't stand it anymore. I must have someone to talk to. Elizabeth! Elizabeth! Oh, where is that maid? Why does he leave me like this? Why? Oh, the lights. They're going dim again, the same as they did last night and the night before. Every time he leaves me, the lights go dim. Oh, why? Why does he do this to me? If he only knew how much I loved him, he'd stay here and comfort me through the... Oh, Charles, my husband, he's come back. Oh, Charles. Oh, Charles, don't ever leave me again. Oh, Charles, let me hold you close. Oh, Charles. Wait a minute, who are you?
If I said I'm anybody else but Charles, I'd be crazy.
What do you want?
I want to see you. I am an inspector from Scotland Yard, and I've come to talk to you about your husband.
Oh, my poor Charles, is he in danger?
No, but you are.
Me?
Yes, you see, your husband is a notorious jewel thief. And 15 years ago, he murdered a woman in this very mansion. And then he married you, so that under the guise of an English gentleman, he could come back and search the place for her jewels.
No, Inspector.
Just call me Charles.
Inspector, you're hurting me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Terribly sorry. As I saying, you see, your husband is trying to drive you out of your mind so that he can send you away and that he can continue the search in the attic.
Oh, so that's why the lights go dim down here. He turns the gas on in the attic.
Yes, and he has a secret door through which he can return without and pretend that nothing had happened.
Inspector, how do you know so much about this house?
Well, I built it. If your husband asks you where Little Rock is, say Idaho.
I don't know what you're talking about. But tell me, what are you going to do with my husband?
Well, I have a plan, which...
The lights! They're coming up again. That means he's coming down. Quick, get in the closet! He may have to be in there for a long time. I'd better get him something to eat. Inspector! Inspector!
Did you call me?
Yes, Wait a minute, you were in this closet.
You see, I was testing you. You did remember. You are sane as I am.
Oh, thank goodness. Here, in case you get hungry.
What is that?
Marinated salami.
Oh, God.
My husband! Oh, he's coming back.
Well, Bella, are you feeling better?
Oh, yes, Charles. My headache is all gone.
Oh. Bella, how careless of you to leave this napkin on the floor.
Oh, I'll put it in the closet.
No, I'll put it in the closet.
No, not that closet.
What?
That is the linen closet.
Very well. You know, Bella, I was talking to Dr. Pepper today, and as we were having a Coke, he told me that tomorrow after...
Charles, did you put the napkin in the closet?
I didn't have to. The closet reached out and grabbed it.
Oh, Charles, you're talking crazy.
No, Bella. You're the one that's crazy. Keep going around this house, turning everything upside down. Now, Bella, why don't you admit? Your mind is failing. Let me send you away. I'll have the butler pack your bags. Jeeves!
Howard!
Jeeves, pack Madam's bag. But before you do, bring me a brandy. Yes, Bella. Everything is wrong lately. Tonight, you turned the pictures upside down. Yesterday, you turned the desk upside down. The table's upside down. The chair's upside down. You keep going all over the house, turning everything upside down. Bella, did you notice something different about the butler?
Yes, Charles. And I found out something different about you, too.
You did?
Your game is up. Your scheme didn't work. I know who you are and what you are. I know what you've been trying to do to me.
Oh, you do, eh? Well, then, my dear Bella, the time for subtleties is over.
Oh!
Say, do you have a piece of rye bread?
Inspector, help me! Help me!
Mr. Manningham, unhand that woman. Lady Bella, I shall take this man to the police station, and then I'll come back and I will check for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
Yes.
The ones on the rug belong to the butler. Wait, before you take him away, I'd like to talk to my husband alone.
Then I'd better tie him to this chair. I'll be in the kitchen if you should need me.
That was very clever of you, Bella. And the way he fell for it.
What?
Look at me, Bella. I'm Charles, your husband. And you love me. Bella, go over to that table over there. There's a knife. Get that knife, Bella.
Oh, yes.
Get that knife and cut me loose.
Ah, yes,
Cut
the
me loose.
knife. The knife.
That's right, Bella. Bella, why are you standing there? Bella, aren't you going to cut me loose?
Oh, yes, Charles. I'm going to cut you very loose.
Bella, your husband, Charles.
Yes, Charles, you're my husband. And you tried to make me believe that I was crazy. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I am. But it was you who drove me to it. It was you who turned the pictures upside down. It was you who turned the lamp upside down and almost convinced me that I did it. Then you turned the table upside down, the desk upside down. The other day I baked an upside-down cake and you turned it right side up.
Bella, don't kill me.
No, I won't kill you. That's too much for you. I love you. Take it away.
Jack will be back with his guest, Barbara Stanwyck, in just a moment. But first, here's a word about the honest taste of a lucky strike.
A smoke goes good when you're working. Or is it that the work goes better when you're smoking? Take a lucky strike. Yeah, take a lucky strike next time you smoke on the job. You'll find it's mild, but not too mild. Even a quick smoke tastes good if it's Lucky Strike. Nothing here but the honest taste of fine tobacco. Fresh and unforgettable.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. You were a wonderful audience, and now I would like to once again have you meet my guest star, Miss Barbara Stanwyck. Barbara, I must say again that you were just wonderful on my show.
Well, it was my pleasure, Jack. I would also like to tell you that I'm a great fan of yours and your television show, and also I think you have one of the finest radio programs on the air today.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
But, of course, how could you help it with such a wonderful personality as Mary Livingston? Thanks, Mary.
I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny speaking. Welcome to another episode of our presentation of the TV series of The Jack Benny Show. And today's focus is on a very rare episode that's out there on YouTube that we were excited to see, and none of us had seen it before. It's the Gaslight episode, and Kathy's going to fill us in on why it's so notorious of an episode. And it features Barbara Stanwyck, who is wonderful throughout this episode. I love her performance in the episode. But let's go over to Kathy, and she will tell us a little bit of the background of the episode and what's going on here.
Well,
Kathy.
Hi, folks. And you're right. It is. Jack loved the adaptation. He loved doing this because he'd done it, I think, several times on radio. And as you say, Daryl, he'd done it once live in 1952. Well, the real reason, one of the reasons, he repeated a lot of the live shows for tape and film in 1953, and that was they had discovered the usefulness of reruns, and as well as the higher quality of a film program versus the fuzzy kinescopes that folks that audiences who did not yet have access to the network feed. So there were economic reasons for going ahead and doing the show on film. But this indeed involved Jack in what ended up being a very large lawsuit because I believe it's MGM who owned the film rights, had never really minded radio adaptation because that was not a replacement for the film, and so live television to the small East Coast audiences and the fuzzy kinescopes were also kind of okay with the studios. But when Jack decides to commit it to film, the film studio decides to make a test case of it and to say that no, that was taking too much of the original property. It was creating too much of a rival product for their film. Now, mind you, the studios are losing money out the wazoo because movie attendance is dropping, and they're starting to think about, well, maybe someday we'll put our films out on television, and we don't want these television versions of it. So, again, it's an economic decision. Not that they hated Jack. They loved Jack, but they chose to double down and make a huge lawsuit against Jack and CBS, forbidding them. And so Jack had actually made this episode, and the lawsuit prevented it from being aired, and he had to quick do something else. But he held on to it because he liked it, and several years later, he was finally able to put this into rotation and release it as an episode. So.
Right, and it was so it was 52. It was done live. 53 that they filmed this one, and not till 1960, I think it was, it actually got released as an episode. No. And in reading Laura's book, I noticed the part, and I believe she said that they decided this studio or the network or whatever decided to pay $1,000 to MGM to air it, and they could only air it once, and so they aired it once, and it was never in the syndication package or anything. What's interesting, I think, too, is when you watch the episode, I was thinking, is this the live one or is this the filmed one? It's a little hard to tell because it's staged like a live performance or like a play. It's probably, of all the episodes I can think of, probably the longest sort of sustained bit that he does, because it starts fairly early in the episode. I think it's a full 20 minutes long that the whole bit is, and usually they're more like half the episode, if that. Maybe they're 10 minutes long that he does the skit. So it's a long skit that he does. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good episode. Kathy, what did you think overall about the episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was as funny as you thought it would be, or what did you think about that?
Well, I need to watch it again a little more closely, but like I said, Barbara Stanwyck is great in anything, and certainly in 52 and 53, you know, that's a real movie star power. There were very few actual movie stars appearing in the new medium, and Jack Benny was actually known as he had Marilyn Monroe on, right, in 53, right. So, and Humphrey Bogart. So he was known as the show that Hollywood stars would be considering willing to go on to television for.
Well, he had both of those folks' first time on television. He also had this Barbara Stanwyck. This is her first time on television, at least the original 52 version. 53, of course, was her second time in television. She's still releasing movies all over the place throughout the 50s and 40s.
So star power. So
huge star power.
You know, it is a kudos to Benny, which would have made it extra special for people trying to watch it. And hooray for him for being, after having sunk all the money into producing it, to be able at least to show it once in 1960s.
Oh yeah, and for us to be able to enjoy it now, because that would probably never happen if this wasn't the case. The 52 version, I don't believe is in circulation anywhere, so it's out there. I mean, certainly it's according to Laura's book, it's like at the UCLA, I think, and somewhere else, but we don't have access to that version, so that's kind of interesting. Well, I think I'll flip it over to Terry. Terry is new to our podcast. John jumped ship on this week and told me he couldn't make the podcast. I think the whole feud between myself and John, he's taken seriously. So, he might come back with reinforcements or something. I don't know what he's going to do. So we'll see if John shows up next week. But until then, we have our wonderful Terry Phillips. And Terry is doing his own kind of new old time radio show that he's doing, kind of in the style of Twilight Zone somewhat. The fact that it's going to be drama sometimes and comedy sometimes and so forth. He's got one episode out there already, and maybe Terry can tell us a little more about his show that he's working on. Plus, he can tell us his thoughts on, because he also watched Gaslight, well, multiple versions of Gaslight, and he can tell us all about that. So it's all yours, Terry. Go ahead.
Daryl, I'm curious to know which one of you is Jack Benny and which one of you is Fred Allen in this feud.
Yeah, I would be Jack. You know, I think we both think we're Jack, but I am really Jack, and he is more the Fred Allen. So.
Well, thank you for inviting me to join you. It's been a long time coming because I've been listening to your podcasts, the various incarnations of them, for a long time, and it's nice to know that I'm not alone in the world of people my generation. I'm only 67, but still I don't have a lot of friends my age, certainly younger, who I know of who listen to these kinds of programs from that era. So it's nice to know that we have a place to come and share our secret obsessions.
Oh, exactly. This is great.
The original version of Gaslight was a stage play. It was produced in the 30s, 1938, I believe, and it was British. And then it was made into a movie in 1940, a European film. And then finally, MGM got its hands on it and tried to erase all previous incarnations of it, although the original still exists. In fact, I watched it a couple of days ago.
Right.
And it's very, very similar, but of course, without the American star power of Charles Boyer and Ingrid Bergman. And speaking of Ingrid Bergman, she was in the original Jack Benny radio parody version of Gaslight. And it was much funnier. The one that Barbara Stanwyck did was funny, but it had a serious undertone the whole time. Whereas the original Jack Benny show, radio show sketch, which Phil Harris was in the Bob Crosby role, was much looser. I don't think it lasted as long. Ingrid Bergman went up on her lines quite a bit, and it was, it was kind of a slapdash, typical Jack Benny radio show sketch. Whereas the one that he did on television was much more serious, I thought, much more in keeping with the image of Barbara Stanwyck. Yeah. And I think it was fascinating that Barbara Stanwyck did this because in 1944, I believe, when, it must have been 1944 when Gaslight won or was up for an Oscar, and when Ingrid Bergman won for Best Actress, she was up against Barbara Stanwyck in Double Indemnity.
Oh my
and Barbara
goodness,
Stanwyck was very
that.
gracious in losing, and she was effusive about what a terrific performer Ingrid Bergman was, although many people believe that Barbara Stanwyck maybe should have won the Oscar, that she was that hers was a greater role. Nevertheless, I thought it was interesting that she would come back a decade later and do the very role that her erstwhile competitor beat her for at the Academy Awards.
Now, did Barbara Stanwyck ever win an Academy Award after that? Do we know?
I don't know. It's a great question. I'm sure it's a click away, but I don't know.
Yeah, it is a click away, but I want to say I don't think so. So, I mean, usually most stars only get a couple chances at winning an Oscar, and so
unless you're Meryl Streep, I guess. Right?
Yes, right. But yeah, that's really interesting, and a performance that you wonder without that performance by Ingrid Bergman if she would have won, because it was quite the tour de force of a performance. I just watched Double Indemnity with my daughter here a few months ago because she had to watch it for class, and of course, as soon as I knew she was in a film class, I was like, "Oh, I'll watch all of them with you," and I did. It was great. But Terry, great presentation of the episode and things.
It is worth saying that part of Gaslight's famous enough to put a word into the English language.
Yes.
Because you could talk about gaslighting somebody, and some people today will still use that term. So
yes, definitely. That some people use it about our president, which is interesting. But yeah, gaslighting. Do either of you, can you explain what gaslighting means in our current use of it? Or do you want me to explain?
Sure, it is leading someone to believe that what they know, what they observe to be true, is not true. Trying to persuade somebody that they're losing their mind, that what they see is not true, not factual.
Correct. And I think today when they use gaslighting, the part about them thinking they're insane or trying to drive them insane is not the piece that they emphasize. The piece emphasizes what you just said at the beginning of that, which is telling them so many untruths and some truths thrown in that they can't tell what's true and what's not true, is sort of what gaslighting is all about, and trying to confuse the subject so much. A lot of folks would say there's been a ton of gaslighting by tons of folks about like climate change, things like that where it makes it all so confusing as to whether it's really happening or not happening. And yeah, exactly.
By the way, you mentioned that this is a word that has entered our vocabulary. I'm looking at some images of the original playbill of the stage play, I'm going to say 1938 stage play. And on that playbill, gaslight is written as 2 words, gas light.
Okay.
It's only in the movie version that they pushed them together. And I think maybe it's because of marketing reasons that it looked better on a marquee.
So. Yeah, interesting. Because they didn't want people to think, oh, this is just only about the era. This is about the whole concept is gaslighting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Huh. But the other piece I wanted to talk about this episode, a couple things. One is I would think it would be so strange to be watching this episode in the time frame, right? So it's 1960, you're watching the episode, and all of a sudden, without any explanation, they're showing an episode where Bob Crosby's on the episode. And I don't think Bob Crosby has been on since the early 50s, because he was kind of a semi-regular in the early 50s when he was doing the radio show. But once the radio show was over, Bob was not featured on the TV show much. I think he did a couple more after the radio show, but not much. And so it's interesting seeing him and his recurring bit that he does about the fact that this whole the whole beginning or beeline of this, besides being gaslight, is saying that Jack's trying to save money he starts the episode by sweeping the floor, and then he plays with Bob, that Bob is doing construction work for him, and Bob comes on with a saw and all of that. And even in the actual gaslighting performance, he comes in with his saw, and the joke is the set's kind of falling apart because he built it and that sort of thing. The other piece of it that I kind of loved was that Mary is sort of kind of in this episode. And they joke about Mary, and I don't want to give away what the joke is with Mary, but when you watch it, she'll be mentioned a couple times, and saving Jack money as well, and it's a cute little bit. The other huge piece that I want to talk about that I thought was just hilarious was the commercials are in this. So when they had the Lucky Strike commercials, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is nuts. They have one commercial in there where there's a couple scuba divers, and the scuba diver gets out of the water, in his slick little scuba diving suit, looking like Mr. Macho, and he's like a model, and his buddy is smoking a cigarette, hands him the cigarette. He starts smoking the cigarette, and I'm going, oh my gosh, shouldn't you guys be masked up? And this is crazy. You're sharing a cigarette? And then I'm realizing, wait a minute, this is not today, so this is okay. But I'm going, that can't be safe. That can't be good. You're going to catch whatever he has. But just to see him standing there and trying to look cool, and oh yeah, your cigarette. The Macho Men are smoking the Lucky Strikes, and there's 2 commercials on there, and they both do essentially the same thing with the macho sort of image, and it's just kind of interesting to see these old commercials. Did that strike you at all?
The thing that made me nervous about that was seeing them smoke around bottles of compressed air. I was waiting for it to blow up.
Well, apparently they filmed the commercial and had to go with the first printing. They were going to film another version of it, but then it blew the ship up, and so just settle on the first one. Oh, that was good enough, guys. I don't think we can do another one because we've lost our stars. So, but anyway, I just enjoyed this episode tremendously. I thought it was really interesting, really different for Jack Benny. So, but I think we'll stop there and let the folks go ahead and enjoy the episode. So, because like I say, it's a wonderful episode. Oh, Terry, Yeah, go over your show before we go.
Well, let me just do a little self-promotion here.
Yes.
This is the website for the new series. Is that visible to everybody?
It is visible and clear. It's beautiful.
All right. So it's, as you said, Daryl, it is in the style of old time radio, but with a little bit of Twilight Zone flavor thrown in. Okay. So yes, it's in the style of old time radio with a little bit of Twilight Zone sensibility thrown in. These are short plays. They're meant to be sort of 10 to 15 minutes long. And some are funny, some are serious. All of them have a point of view. And I hope that they are provocative and entertaining. And that if people enjoy watching them, that they'll tell their friends.
Okay. Excellent. And just a question for me, I'm still trying to get it in my head. It's currently on YouTube that it is, or I mean,
Well, I've just launched this website, so now they're also housed in audio form only on the website.
Okay.
I initially put them on YouTube because that was just an easy way to distribute them. But this is not mostly a visual. In fact, it's not really visual at all, other than that there's a picture on the screen.
Yeah.
But this is meant to be like radio. These are audio plays.
Okay.
But over time, we might illustrate them somehow, but not to the point where the pictures are more important.
Yeah.
The pictures are. That's right, between our ears. We make the pictures.
Right. It's good you have something between your ears, because people tell me all the time that I don't have anything there. But it's okay. That void, I try to fill that void with Jack Benny as much as I can. But Terry, and then it's not currently a podcast where you'd get it from a podcast site or anything, is it?
Not yet, but after I have 2 or 3 episodes, once we are rolling, then yes, it will also be a podcast, and it'll be distributed in all the usual places.
So the best place to come is your website to probably see.
For now, that's the best place to go. Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. I love it. I love it when people do modern. Yeah. Exactly. Good luck to you. And the piece I want to point out, because I did listen to it, and I've listened to a lot of new radio where they're creating a new old time radio style show, and the problem with most of them is the actors. You can tell they're amateurs and they're not as engaging as certainly the people were in the 1950s. Because I mean, those people were such professionals. I mean, you're Mel Blancs and your Frank Nelsons, and that were on show after show after show. I mean, they were so professional what they did. But I was really struck by how professional his actors were that Terry is using, that they really seemed like they were of the same quality as the old time radio shows. And I didn't have to go sort of suspend my disbelief and go, I'll just accept that this actor isn't that great. That's not where you're at with Terry's shows. You can actually listen to the thing and go, wow, okay, this feels like truly an old time radio show in a whole lot of ways, with great acting. The whole thing is put together really professionally. Nice job, Terry.
Thank you, Daryl. We also have a little bit of serendipity going on here. I hope that someday, years from now, people will be listening to this conversation and they'll say, oh yeah, wasn't there a pandemic back in the year 2020?
Yeah.
Because thanks to the pandemic, one of the few positive things about this terrible disease is that actors are limited in where they can perform. We can't go into theaters. We can't be in front of cameras for the most part, except things like Zoom. And so what does that leave us? Well, it leaves radio, audio plays. And so all of these actors who are, for the most part, you're right, professional actors, can record their parts at home. Then they send the audio files to me. I put them together and add music and sound effects. And we do have, in effect, what they did on stage together in the 30s and 40s.
Wow. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll leave it there. And hopefully Terry can join us in future weeks. We shall see. And Kathy will hopefully be back as well. You never know. Some weeks it might just be me. It's all good. And so enjoy this wonderful episode of the Jack Benny Show, this rare episode. And we will see you folks next week. I'm not sure what we're going to bring you. I'm thinking about Jimmy Stewart's episode. I'm thinking about the Natalie Wood and Robert Wagner episode, and also the Marilyn Monroe's kind of in there too that I'm thinking. So some of these big episodes. Oh, and Johnny Carson. I'll tell you what. No, I do know what we're bringing next week. We're bringing you the Johnny Carson episode because I've had a number of people ask about, we presented a piece of it last week. We presented it was sort of a Twilight Zone-esque ending to it. And so we presented the ending, and then folks have said, well, can you show that whole episode? And we definitely have the whole episode, and it's in pretty good video and audio and everything. So we'll present that next week. Tune in for Johnny Carson. And then some of those other folks I mentioned will be in future weeks. So thanks, everybody, and I will sign us off. See you later. Thanks, everybody. Bye, Terry. Bye, Kathy. And have a great week, guys.
Wow. Now for something very special. Kathy, what do we have now?
We've got a trailer for our upcoming episode.
Wow. John, do you like trailers?
Ooh, do I?
All right, let's see it.
Now, to those of you who tuned in to my show 2 weeks ago, you will remember that you finally saw our parody of Gaslight, you see. Now, to those of you who didn't tune in, I'd like to explain that Gaslight is that psychological murder mystery, that murder drama, in which I drove Barbara Stanwyck, MGM, and the Supreme Court nuts. And I do want to thank MGM for allowing me to release this picture, you see. Of course, although I felt they'd do it anyway, because 18 years ago, they released me. I mean, they didn't exactly release me. They put me in a basket and left me on Warner Brothers' doorstep. Oh, Don Wilson, would you come out, please? Now, Don, I know that we've had Ernie Kovacs. We have him as a guest, and we talked a lot about mustaches, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, man, this got nothing to do with Kovacs. All us boys at the coffee house wear beards.
Coffee house?
Like, yes.
Like, yes? Do you hang around the coffee house?
Espresso, man, espresso.
Don, I never thought you'd become a beatnik. A fatnik, yes, but not a...
Hey, man, your melon's got corners on it.
Now, cut that! Out here in this outfit with this silly thing, you certainly must have something in mind. So go ahead and go through with it, and I'll see you later.
Beat, 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 listen to the beat. Beat, 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 listen to the beat. If you're bugged with your business, if you're weary of your wife, don't be dull or dejected, there's a better way of life. Just forget responsibilities, prepare to have a treatment like.
Split to the coffee house and listen to the beat. Yes, we're the Beat Generation, a sordid aggregation. We score obligation.
No, we won't conform.
Okay, the Beat Generation, a modest operation. We're taking the nation
by a very little storm.
Lend an ear to my story, chum, if you're a working man. Take a break, light a Lucky, which there's no smoke better than. Get the taste that's true and always rich, a taste just mild enough. You'll dig the taste of Lucky Strike when you begin to puff, 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 puff. You begin to puff.
Puff, 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 puff. Lucky sure enough.
Hey, Don.
Yeah, man.
If you want to be beat, first thing you got to do is communicate. Like, man, you got to talk the language, you know?
Like how?
A cig is what you're smoking.
Jazzy means it's great.
A cat is one who's on the beat.
An outer gets the gate.
So don't be an outer, just be a cat and puff on a Lucky while you chit-chat. For that's the way you're smoking if you're smoking on the beat, 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 beat. Smoking on the beat.
A Lucky Strike is the utmost, the very living utmost. From east to the west coast, Lucky Strike is really in. Get a good grip on your lighter and prepare to have a treatment like. Light up a Lucky and you're smoking on the beat.
times have certainly changed. I used to be a minuetnik.
Remember, 1 week from tonight on this same station, be sure and view Bachelor Father, starring John Forsythe. On most of these stations, watch the exciting Western series Trackdown, starring Robert Culp. Brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company. Remember, tobacco is our middle name. Jack Benny's next television show will be in 2 weeks. This is Don Wilson saying good night.